So we are actually recording. So the topic that we're discussing this evening is sanity and self-care. So as you know, we all have a lot going on with COVID-19 and how it is impacting us globally, not just individually, but the whole world is being impacted by this. And as a result of all of the misinformation, all of the conspiracy theories, et cetera, people don't know don't know what's real, don't know what's not, and people just have a lot of anxiety overall. So we wanted to come together to do this little meeting to give people some tips on some things that they can do to just kind of weather this storm, because it is somewhat of that. It's like a storm that we're going through right now, or a hurricane. And there are some things that we can do to kind of help ourselves get through the hurricane and make it a little bit better for ourselves. Hey, Marv, how you doing? So it looks like the live is showing up really great, but we're just going to keep going here and playing it by ear. So I just wanted to, Denisha and I, you guys can't see her on Facebook, but if you're on the Zoom, you can see her. She's there.
Hey guys.
And we just wanted to give you guys a few little tips and some things that we've been personally doing ourselves that have kind of been helping us get through this scenario overall with all of the unknowns. We don't know how long it's going to be going on, but we do know that we have to maintain our peace of mind, and we have to be able to still function, still be there for our families, for our children, for those of us that have children, and not completely flip out, because in addition to this being something that's attacking us physically, it's also mentally impairing us. It's almost like a psychic attack that's going on with all of the fear and the dun 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 that's happening. We kind of just need to find some ways to navigate through it. So we wanted to share some information with you, some things that have been helpful to us both. I don't know if you can hear Denisha on there.
Probably not. So I probably will just speak on here, and then you may have to reiterate, or I'm not sure if I should even speak.
You can speak. Can you all, somebody listening on Facebook, can you hear the other sister that's talking?
Hello, 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 hello.
Somebody just tell me yes or no in the comments real quick.
Hello, 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 hello. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. No.
Somebody tell me. Yes, no.
Hello, hello, testing, testing.
All right, whatever. We're going to just keep it moving, because
keep it moving.
We got a limited amount of time here that we can talk about this. So the first thing that we were going to address tonight was going to be the
mindfulness of social media, TV, radio.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mindfulness of social media, controlling your input, controlling your thought patterns. So because a lot of us are at home, we're sitting here, we're glued to the television all day, we're glued to social media all day. Thank you. Reginald confirmed that he can hear your voice as well.
Okay, fantastic.
So sorry you guys can't see her lovely face, but you can hear her voice. So we're glued to the television, we're glued to social media all day long, and often that's causing a little bit more harm than good, because thoughts are things. So regardless of what your belief system is, these are facts. It's done unto you as you believe. Speak it and it shall be. So thoughts are things. So if we are consistently bombarding ourselves with update after update after update, and not able to discern what's real from what's not, because there's a lot of misinformation that's being circulated on social media, especially Facebook. If it's not a definitive fact that comes from the CDC or that's on the CDC website, for me, I'm not really buying into it, me personally. Because you have a whole bunch of people out there that are writing up stuff. It'll look like a regular news article. It'll look real. And then we'll just share it blindly without verifying the information. So we don't know if it's real or not, or if we're miseducating people about what's going on and just creating more fear. This energy or entity or whatever it is really feeding on our fear right now. There's more of that going on. And we see it just with the hoarding that's taking place, and with people going into the store and buying 50,000 damn rolls of toilet tissue, which that I don't understand at all. I mean, get a rag and wipe your ass. You've been wiping it forever. If you run out of tissue, you run out of tissue. There's so many things that are far much more important than toilet tissue, you know. So the first tip that I personally had to do for myself, because I just came back into the country a few days ago where I wasn't being bombarded with all of this unless I tuned into it. And then I came here and it was like a big, massive hurricane of just information. And I kind of went into my own stress for a minute. Like, wait a minute, let me control my own thoughts and my own damn anxiety, because I started getting anxiety in my own body and I know better, right? I know better. So I'm not saying that this thing isn't real. I'm not saying not take it seriously, but you have to control what you're putting into your head. So my first recommendation is limit your social media. Limit your, peace, Carlos, peace, Kimberly. Limit your social media and limit your news. For me, it's once a day. I'll check the news at 8:00 once a day, you know, and I'll check in with social media maybe once or twice a day. But all of the doom and gloom is not helping anybody. You know, everybody is scared and nervous because they don't know what's going on. You know, borders being shut down, people being trapped in other countries and whatnot. That's a scary thing. I mean, and it's okay to admit that you're scared, but we can't keep just gluing ourselves to it 24 hours a day. That's doing more harm than good, creating more anxiety in the body, which is weakening our immunity overall. So
Right.
you want to speak to, you know, how fear can impact the immune system?
Yeah, I also just want to share that what happens is when you watch something over and over and over again, it causes more of the PTSD, right? So you end up having more stress by watching something over and over and over again. So it's to be mindful. What you just said, a couple times a day, it's wise to check in to see what's going on, but to over inundate yourself with that type of information is not cool. So yes.
When you continue to run into situations that are scaring us, whatever they are, they can make you weak overall, weaken your immunity. Again, thoughts are things, and your body hears everything that you're putting into it. It hears all of the input. So again, being mindful of how much news you're taking in. This doesn't mean that you're not going to be informed, because I keep hearing that from people too. I got to stay informed. I got to stay informed. Okay, but what are you going to do about it? So now you know, okay, so you're hearing something is shut down or they didn't close the bars and the strip clubs. Okay, now what? Now what's next? Now you're informed, now what? Then you go on to the next thing. So the first thing I suggest is turn those ringers and dingers and shit off on your phones that are coming in, that are, you know, alerting you every 5 minutes, every time somebody else comes up with one. I had to turn my YouTube alerts off because everybody and that granny is making a video about what they speculate is going on, how long it's going to be going on, and their reality. And everyone else's reality is not necessarily your reality. You know, some people are quarantined and staying in the house just like all of us, but they're okay. They're chilling, they're at home, they're relaxed, they're not like flipping out or anything like that. So the more that you are scaring yourself with the unknown, it's making you weaker. You can become psychosomatic and start manifesting symptoms out of nowhere just because you've been listening all day to what these symptoms are. You know what I mean? We all know what it is at this point. It's been going on for over a week and a half. So with that being said, my first tip to maintain your sanity and peace of mind is to limit your social media and your news maybe to once or twice a day.
Yep.
Excellent. Fear in the immune system and recognizing how to recognize fear and how it impacts your immunity. Did you want to speak to that, Blake?
I did. I found some information that I wanted to share. Of course, hold on, give me 1 second. Go on to something else right quick, and then I'll come back to that.
All right. The other things that we can do to help with ourselves, we know this is a respiratory virus, right? It attacks our respiratory system. So the last thing we want to do is to stop breathing. Make sure you're taking time to mindfully breathe, taking deep breaths in, taking deep breaths out, not breathing shallow. When we get stressed out and we have anxiety, we start shallow breathing. So we want to make sure that we're breathing as deeply as possible, like as often as you can throughout the day. Make sure that you're not wearing your shoulders as earrings. I have to do this with myself. Say, hey, Aisha, drop your shoulders. So taking a deep breath, exhale, and drop your shoulders. And do this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day, because we don't realize how often we're like this throughout the day. That's holding stress and tension in your body. I mean, this even looks crazy being in this position, right? So take your time, drop your shoulders. If you got to take 3 deep breaths in the middle of something, take 3 deep breaths and drop your shoulders, just to maintain your sanity and peace of mind regarding that. Did you find what you were looking for about?
Oh, yeah. So fear, yes. So fear is when you're holding your breath, you're showing signs of fear. That's also, what you're speaking about. Holding your shoulders up, that's a sign of fear. You know what I mean? Because your body is in a state of unknown, doesn't understand what's happening. When you are constantly thinking negative thoughts, that's a state of fear. When you're constantly thinking the downside instead of thinking about the positive, state of fear, right? So just kind of recognizing your thoughts and what you're thinking about. And it takes time to recognize your thoughts. To sit back and actually say, what am I thinking about? We don't do that. We're constantly just thinking about things. And we don't realize that we've gone to the other side as far as the negative. So you have to be mindful and be intentional with your thoughts, right? So right now, being mindful of what I'm watching, being mindful of my body posture, being mindful of my breath, being mindful of my shoulders not being on my ears, right? Being mindful if I'm eating the right foods, which causes fear, because if you're eating meats and things of that nature, that causes the body to do certain things. You're getting energies of, I don't know if I should go into that, but anyway, the foods that you're eating are causing you to have a lot of fear as well. So yes.
Segue into foods, because that's one of the things that we also wanted to talk about.
Yes.
As well, was the things that people are eating. So I
Yes.
hope you guys are able to see her there. So I've been, just at the store and looking and seeing what's in people's carts. And really what I see is an abundance of processed foods, sugar, lots of alcohol, because people are like, oh, we locked in, we're going to turn up, we're going to get messed up, blah, blah, blah. I hate to say it, friends, but alcohol lowers your immunity. So
Yes.
that if you are in a person, especially if you already have a compromised immunity, drinking is one of the last things that you want to do. I mean, we're not talking about an occasional glass of wine, but I've been seeing people with cases, boxes of alcohol, like they are just planning on getting wasted every single day. All that does is increase the amount of inflammation in your body, one.
Yes.
Viruses thrive in mucus and in
Exactly.
an inflamed environment. So
Yes.
if all of us have been taught that we need to strengthen our immunity, right? Strengthen your immunity. We keep hearing that. Strengthen your immunity, strengthen your immunity. And we hear what to take, what vitamins to take. We don't really hear a lot about what we don't want to be putting into our bodies. And alcohol is definitely not the main thing that you want to be consuming during this time, because that can weaken you, in addition to inflammatory foods. So
Yes.
a few examples of some inflammatory foods, Blake, you want to share?
Yes. So there's meat, which helps cause the inflammation. Refined grains such as white rice, white sugar. You want to stay away from white sugar for real. White flour, you want to stay away from. You want to stay away from gluten foods, right? So gluten is the rice, right? Aisha, you was talking about gluten today, right? Dairy, so your milk, your cheeses, things of that nature. So I want to tell you what not to do, but I also want to tell you what you can be doing, right? So you want lots of leafy green vegetables, so kale, arugula, spinach if you eat it, romaine lettuce. Stay away from iceberg lettuce, right? There's no nutrients in iceberg lettuce. You want to get colorful vegetables, so red peppers if you can find them. I think some farmers markets are open. I know in California they're starting to open up some of the California markets because of the fact that it's food, right? And that's an essential. So you want to get colorful foods, like I said, the peppers. You want cucumbers, that's hydrating to the body, zucchini, What are you, lentils? I'm eating lots of lentils. They're high in fiber. Chickpeas. You're eating chickpeas, Darby. What else?
In terms of foods that we can't eat, blueberries,
Blueberries,
all
strawberries. Yes.
berries, those things, and plenty of water. You know,
Yes.
because of what's going on, and this is an attack on the respiratory system. You want to keep uh, your lungs, your esophagus, everything as moist as possible, as well as the air. If you have a humidifier in your house, you should be running your humidifier every day, all day, especially if you're in a zone where you're still using the heater, because that's drying the air out, sucking all the moisture out of the air. And we need moisture right now. You know, we need to stay as moist as possible. So if you don't have a humidifier, that's okay. Go old school, boil a pot of water, put a pot of water on the stove and boil a pot of water, and then that's going to also add moisture to your air. Worst case scenario, you can put a bowl of water in the bedroom, and then you'll be okay with that as well, next to your bed. So trying to cut back on the inflammatory foods, keeping moisture in your body, staying hydrated.
Adding some salt to your water, adding limes to your water. So adding a little bit of salt to your water and adding some limes to your water will help to keep you hydrated.
What kind of salt?
I use sea salt. I use Himalayan sea salt. Okay. So it's the pink. I should have had some here. It's the pink salt.
And yeah. How much salt?
So I kind of eyeball it, but maybe like a fourth of a teaspoon, or depends on how much you can take, right? Like I probably do about a fourth of a teaspoon.
Okay, because salt, I know, also can sometimes make you go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So, but you're going to be doing that if you're drinking and hydrating the way you're supposed to be doing. You know, you're going to be going to the bathroom 2 or 3 times. You know, regardless, an hour or two. So that's just kind of what it is. It's part of it: drinking water and hydrating your body. Yep. Yeah. So, no, go ahead.
Okay. So the other thing that we wanted to touch on, because this is a quick little video, it's not extensive. We're just trying to share some information. That's something else that you can do too. You know, where can you be helpful besides sharing fake news or conspiracy theories or dun theories? How can you be helpful? Are there any elders in your community that you know that can't go outside, that can't go to the store, that you could possibly help? Your neighbor, people that are alone right now. You know, check on your single friends and family members also, because there's a lot of depression that's looming right now for people that are alone. You know, everyone doesn't have the luxury of being at home with their children, or being at home with their spouse or their partner or whatever. Some people are weathering this storm all by themselves, and they're scared. So one thing that you can do, not just to be humane, and to check on some people. You know, send a text every now and again. Hey, sis, hey, bro, you okay over there? Y'all all right? You doing good? How you doing? Check in, because there's a lot of depression that's going on right now, because what this thing is doing for those that are alone is heightening their awareness to the fact that they're alone. So you're scared and you're by yourself, you know? So check on your people and your single friends and family members that you know are by yourself. Check on your elders. You know, I've been hearing kids talk like, oh, this is just an old person's disease, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what lessons is in this for them, because everybody is getting their own individual lesson through this experience right now. But, you know, check them, and then check on your people as well, okay? We only have a few more minutes, so I did want to go into some of the self-care tips that we can do for ourselves. Lavender. This is my favorite essential oil in the whole world. If you don't buy any other oil, well, I'm going to recommend 2, you know, maybe 3. But lavender oil, really good to just kind of help with anxiety, help you be relaxed. You can put this in your diffuser. You can rub it on yourself, rub it on your earlobes. I'm really good for running around with a cotton ball with lavender on. You might see me, if you know me, see me with it glued to my face. That's me inhaling lavender, not because I'm sick or my nose is running or anything like that, but it just really keeps the anxiety down significantly. You know, take salt baths.
Yes.
So take as many baths as you can right now during this time. One, if you don't have a bathtub, take a hot shower. It's going to help relieve some of the stress and anxiety you have in your body. If you don't have any essential oils in the house, that's okay. Put some salt in the water. You can just add, I don't care if it's the chick with the umbrella. If you don't have no sea salt, no pink salt, no Epsom salt, that's okay. Put some table salt in the water because it's going to help
Release negative energies.
release the negative energy. Exactly. And the negative ions just kind of help bring you balance. You can be feeling irritated and uptight and sit in the tub for at least 15 or 20 minutes. And before you know it, you
It's
get out
all gone.
and
Yep.
you just feel better.
Yep.
I think I had took 3 baths the other day
Yes.
just for my own peace of mind and sanity, because I had caught myself getting caught up in the masses of what was going on. So it's like,
Yeah.
no, let me disconnect. A lot of us have been on this path of self-care and awareness for a long time. Maybe the last 10 years or so, as people have been going through their quote unquote awakenings. Well, all of that work, all that studying, all that stuff we've been incorporating into our lifestyles, the time is now to apply it.
That's
And
right.
for those that haven't been applying it, the time is now to start applying it. So I wanted to speak to baths, just taking a salt bath, essential oils. Is there anything else that you wanted to recommend? We got about 3 more minutes.
So like you said, the perfect night or the perfect afternoon or whatever, you take you a salt bath, you drop you about 20 to 30 drops of the lavender oils in your tub, you light you some candles, you get you some sage if you have some, clean the energy, open up your windows, clean the energy out of your house, you know what I mean? Make sure that you're mindful of what kind of energy you have in your home, and you've got to release that. If you have some Palo Santo, go ahead and light that up and get that going as well. Listen to some sound therapy music if you have any. What is it that they have various different kinds for different vibrations, right? You can go on YouTube and put in sound therapy or sound healing and find all different types of options for you to do. You can also go on YouTube and you can do, I think his name was Dr. Will. I can't remember, but I'll find out get his name for you. But he has an actual breathwork techniques where you breathe in 4, 7, and 4, or release 4, 7, and 8, however many you do. But so he has some techniques that you can use. And that's pretty much the diet. We talked about a little bit about the diet, and we can go more in depth. I'm a health coach. Aisha's also a therapist in many different areas. She's gifted in, so she can be of service to you in many different areas. So we are here to be of service to you in any way possible. I will go ahead and have her put my link so that you can find me in social media when you're socializing. And we send you peace, love, and light, and we pray that you are all going to get through this in a peaceful, safe way.
And y'all don't forget to pray. Whatever your belief system is, pray and have faith. When we're praying about stuff, prayer and worry are not supposed to occupy the same space. So take time out to do that. Start your day off by setting your intentions for the day. Today, I'm going to have a peace-filled day. Today, I will feel fabulous. Today, I will be creative. Now we've got this extra time on our hands. This is the time to start to explore some of the things that you didn't have time to do before. Perfect time to start a garden. Perfect time to take a class, do a workshop, start working on your body, your workout, healthy eating. You want to do a transitional diet and get off the crap and move to a more plant-based diet, but haven't really had time to look up recipes and stuff. This is the time to do it. There's a lot of silver lining that's going on simultaneously with all of the doom and gloom as well. So I encourage you all to take these tips. Please share this video with your friends. It's just a few tips. On the 24th, March 24th, we're going to start a 21-day sanity and self-care daily regimen. So if you want to get more information about that, I will, but we'll be going on every single day for 21 days collectively. There'll be an email every day. We'll be doing like affirmations for ourselves and have an activity that you can do every day that's going to be around self-care, a way that you can love on yourself today. Spend some time outside, go in your yard, pick some flowers. There's so much good that you can do right now as opposed to being glued to the news all day. So It's 8:30. I'm a stickler about time. I don't want to keep anybody else longer than they want to. But again, on the 24th of the month, we're going to start our 21 days. Even if this ends in 5 or 7 days, this is still a good time to just practice the mindfulness of what we're putting into our heads and how we're taking care of ourselves. So
Yep.
I hope y'all can join me. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you, Blake, for doing this with me.
Peace, love, and light, girl.
She's at peaceloveandlight.com, Peace Love and Light on Instagram, Peace Love and Light on Facebook as well, correct?
Yes, I'll shoot you the information. You can
Okay,
put
so
it.
I'll put it down at the link at the bottom of this. She's a clean eating coach. She's really awesome at helping people transition their diets over if that's what they want to do, you know, from to more of a plant-based, healthy eating lifestyle and diet. So you guys take care of yourselves out there. Hug, love on your families. Tell your people you love them. And again, check on the people that you know are alone right now. All right? Peace.
Peace.
All right.